Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making other games, then you can go to Patreon, where you can get early access to those other games. $3 a month. So, I have to say, I'm pretty proud about how I cut that last episode, because, like, it's probably going to be a short night, and then it's like, nope, go straight into something, and then something else. Those two being Clint, the crackhead, coming up to us and attacking us with a crowbar. He got the brunt of it. We also kind of got scraped up a bit, because, hey, crackhead with a crowbar. But he seems to be somewhat connected to, Cud. The raccoon that's all grumpy and stuff like that. And also, our main character seems to be like, hey man, you're a real not nice guy, Leo, for, like, retorting at, what's his name? Like, partially I could be like, maybe, but also it's kind of the thing, it's like, if somebody comes up to you and is, like, talking, like, is being a dick, I feel like being dick back to him isn't mean, really. It might not be the smartest thing because they might come at you with a crowbar later, but and then also attack you in a diner. But then also the second thing is that we were, cleaning ourselves up. Things got a bit intimate. And then Leo saw something in the mirror and got absolutely spooked, which I have to assume could be Shadow Chase. Basically the otter that was outside, and that the guy that it also kind of seems like a crackhead, Duke, saw. But yeah, quite a few things. Anyways, let's finish that up, reset my face, and start. Yeah, oh yeah, because it's the next day. Thursday day. Probably should have opened up with that, but I felt good with this intro, so let's continue. By morning, Leo seems to have perked up a little. It starts with some good news from Flynn. Really? Carl had been in the crawl space. Oh, so he actually was there. According to him, it'd been too hot to sleep anywhere but there. Doesn't he have air conditioning? Of course, that's fucking insane, but it's definitely something Carl might do. In better spirits, Leo suggests we go out to some burger joint, which I agree. Yeah, he has to have air conditioning. Come on. On the way, we chat about my project. I mean, maybe he got, like, drunk and high and couldn't figure out how to do air conditioning. He's like, cold crawl space. Sorry. So obviously, I don't want to spend all of our time just having fun. You have a project to do, after all. Yeah. I don't remind him that most of this messing around had been his idea. Though, we do need to hang out with TJ today, if that's okay. I promised him we would yesterday. He's been feeling kinda down, obviously. Look down at my sausage biscuit sandwich. The excess grease glistening in the sunlight, shining through the window. That's a lot of grease. I was thinking the park. Yeah, that sounds like fun. So, what do you still need to do? Man, we're actually going to get this project done, maybe? I take a bite to give myself time to think. Well, honestly, I'm not too sure. The whole premise is about the body that was found in the mine. So, gosh, what is his name? I can't remember. From the smoke room, unless there's another body found. I mean, things are kind of crazy in that game right now. Yeah, what was that about? Well, I read about it on a website. Apparently, some guy's mutilated body was found in the mines, and everyone in town lost their minds. Well, might be a different person then, because the guy that we, killed had a pickaxe in his head. Or did we bury it in his head, or did we just smack him in the head? And the town hasn't lost their minds yet. A website? Yeah. Shouldn't you have a better source than that? Well, especially if the whole idea of your project is based off that. I blush. Someone like Leo chastising me about journalistic integrity is kind of embarrassing. It's not like he's stupid. I guess I'm just used to feeling like the brains of our little dynamic. I mean, it's cited. I just need to get the book. Which is something else I need to do. Do you have a library card? So wait, does Echo have a library? No. Wow, surprising. But I could sign up for one. Leo nudges me. Don't be bitter. I just want you to do a good job. I'm the one who went to college. I know what I'm doing. I mean, I went to college. I had no idea what I was doing. Twice. Leo laughs. You know, I read a study about college kids. A study? Sounds like something you wouldn't know about, considering you didn't go to college. Right. Anyway, it was about how college doesn't make you smart, just more liberal. Geez, it kind of sound like parents. Uh-huh. So, is that a bad thing? Well, paying $20,000 per year to get indoctrinated just doesn't appeal to me. And also, he's probably meaning left-winged. I said liberal. I frown. Is that why you stopped going? Or have you just been looking up these studies to make yourself feel better about quitting? Leo pauses. That's a strong word. I guess I just realized that what I had was good enough. Though truth be told also, and sorry I'm doing all these divergence, but still, it's kind of like I'm in a talkative mood. College isn't for everybody, you know? Lots of colleges are just kind of fucking scams, and it's better for people to get trade jobs. Because, hey, you don't get as much debt, you can start quickly, there's demand for those jobs. Anyways, my dad makes more than most college grads, and he's teaching me the trade too. Good on you, Leo. Don't have debt. Leo pauses as he changes lanes around a massive 16-wheel carrying what looks like steel. Though, hopefully, Leo, you and your family can get out of Echo, because Echo isn't long for this world. Especially if it, looked at the ending of TJ's route. Though we didn't actually see what the hell happened. And I'm already certified. Okay, where exactly are you going with this? I just want to make sure you're okay with that, is all. Oh, well, I'm not Jenna. As long as you're doing what you want, I really don't care what it is you decide to do. What are you talking about with Jenna? Because wasn't her thing with her family was that there were a whole bunch of drunkards and on something? Leo smiles. Well, good. And if we, I'm not saying we will, but if we ever got back together again, I'll be able to support you. Well, just don't make fun of me going to college, or what degree I'm decided to go into. You're good enough right already. You could have just started up a blog, or something. I guess in these days, maybe. What? I just read that that's what journalism is these days. I started sulking again. Maybe you should stop looking these things up. At least I'm learning to do something. It's not like I just got a degree in physiology and stopped there, psychology. Well, didn't you tell me you wanted to go into history? Isn't that worse? Let's just drop it. But I want to be a hockey coach or something, or sports coach. Leo looks at me out of the corner of his eye. Chula, I'm not making fun of you. Well, when someone starts sounding like my dad, I think that's a good time to end the conversation. Ah, you're not into that? Damn, he knows me well. Definitely not. We drive in silence for a while as Leo pulls out his food from the brown, grease-stained paper bag. As we're heading back, he nudges me. Hey, I have an idea. He talks with his mouth full, one hand holding onto his sausage and the other onto his biscuit. One hand holding onto his sausage biscuit while the other steers. Are you asking me? Hey, both hands on the wheel. Leo chuckles as he swings from his orange juice carton in his steering paw before returning it to the wheel. Just looking over there. Time. Even when I'm in the car, you drive like shit. Hey, I'm way more careful when you're with me. Oh, that does make me feel good. That makes it feel so much better. Good. He takes another huge bite. I wait while he chews, and when he finishes, he takes another bite. You were saying? Oh yeah, you know those train tracks behind my yard? Didn't you say they're important somehow? Yeah, Echo used to be an important junction. Well, why don't you go there? And you can film some stuff? Sorry, I feel like I'm not reading well, but it's like, I want to play this game. The rail yard is only like 5 minutes walk away, I think. Ooh. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Leo smiles, panting a little in the heat, looking proud of himself. Cool. We'll go over there once we get back. Let me just check my face. Maybe lean back a little so I can see more words. I mean, I'm not close, but still. Hyena? Beep. There's not much left of the old train yard. The building that used to serve as junction is basically gone, save for the foundation. There are 2 groups of abandoned freight cars with Golden Gate Southwestern in chipped paint on the sides. I'm happy to see it since it'll help with the scenery I'm trying to capture. After doing a few panning shots along with some close-ups of the cars, I lean against the old freight car with my head back. I close my eyes against the heat. It's almost noon, and it's almost impossible to find any good shade out here. For some reason, it's only now that I'm realizing how stupid it was to do this so early. The sunset could have looked a lot better, along with it being a lot cooler. Leo's been gone almost 20 minutes at this point. He said he was going to get some water bottles, but it's been a while. The sweat seeping into my shirt makes my skin crawl. God, I hate that. After looking around, I peel it off and hang it up against a small metal ladder on the frame of one of the freight cars. Be careful if there's a tarantula. Bah. I lean back against the exact same spot I was earlier, where it wasn't burning hot, and resume closing my eyes. Vaguely, I wonder how many miles this thing has covered, how much of the country it's seen. The railway was closed down in the 60s, so it's at least 50 years old. Unless they're just using Echo as a dump for unwanted train cars and left them here recently. It's a lot older than I am. There's something weirdly comforting about leaning against something that's been through so much, almost reassuring. It's like swimming in an old river or lake that's been around for millions of years. Something brief connected to things that are permanent. I hear rustling through the grass on the other side of the car, but I keep my eyes closed. Leo, I think I'm gonna die. I'm not built for the heat. I'll wait, but he doesn't say anything. Leo? The rustling starts up again, a long, slow drag through the dried vegetation. This time, it sounds like it's coming from under the train. Leo? Finally, I open my eyes and step away from the car, turn around to look at it like I can see through it. What are you doing? Obviously trying to scare me. Leo was never as subtle as Jenna, but he did his fair share of at least trying. It's not gonna be Leo. I lean over to look under the car, glaring. You know, if you're trying... I met with the emptiness under the car. Just dirt, dead grass, and rusted rails. Was it some kind of animal? It sounded pretty big to be... Chase! Fuck! A heavy paw slams on my shoulder as Leo shouts right next to my head. Okay, I was wrong. I can't always be right. I stumble forward, but he grabs me up laughing. Holy shit. I've never seen you jump like that hard before. Jump that hard before. Even with those tiny little legs. Otter. Normally I'd be pissed, but that buildup just had me glad it was Leo. How the hell did you do that? Do what? The whole setup you did. Well, you see, first I take my hand and slap it on your shoulder. No, the whole walking behind me and making that dragging sound under the car. Huh? Leo looks confused. I frown. I guess it would have been kind of impossible for someone Leo's size to sneak around like that without me seeing him. Did you hear something? Leo mimics my earlier position and bends over to look under the train. Yeah, but there wasn't anything there. I thought you were trying to scare me. Well, I was, but I didn't do that. Probably some animal or something. There's a lot of weird wildlife out here, you know? You know how we know about horse people? Apparently there's like donkeys that aren't people, they're just like animals. How weird is that? They walk on 4 legs. That's the smoke room thing. He stands up. That would have been a good idea though. It sounded really heavy, like a person. Could have been, you know? You know, there's a lot of the weirder people out here, like... You know, a lot of weirder people around here like to come out to get drunk, or high, or whatever. Fuck. Sounds fun. I must still look like a little nerd, because Leo sets a hand on my shoulder. Well, I'm here now, so don't worry. I guess it's night, which is why I'm kind of being all not 100%, because I'm yawning quite a bit. Ooh, I had a whole bunch of tea. His eyes drift down to look at my torso. Damn, you've kept in shape. Well, better shape. I smirk, rubbing a shoulder. Swimming every day helps. Leah rubs my shoulder, grinning. You look good. You always say that. And I always mean it. Well, thanks. I've gotten to the point where I've just stopped pretending that there isn't at least something still there between us. And I think I've stopped pretending that nothing's gonna happen on this trip. Eventually. I stopped pretending that nothing's gonna happen on this trip. Okay. What really worries me is what will happen after. Yep. Leo, meanwhile, slides his hand over my stomach. Not that I care if you gained any weight. That happens, but I like you this way. Yeah, it happens. I only hesitate for a moment. I slide my own hand under his shirt, and Leo makes a soft gasping noise as I press it up against his stomach. His ears fold back, though he keeps a grin on his face. I guess it's the porno music. Being a wolf makes it harder, you know. I feel like I've been gaining a little bit of weight, and I need to lay off the snacks. I mean, I can get abs if I flex, but still, it's like I want abs permanently. I believe you. Oh yeah, as if to try to convince me he hasn't really gained weight, he flexes his abs, flattening the soft fur of his stomach against my palm. Steel wrapped in velvet. But you know, I'm into that. I'm getting the urge to adjust my pants so my dick isn't jamming so uncomfortably into the crotch. But I don't want to make it that obvious that I'm aroused. You mind feeling some other part of me? You're making me feel fat. Ooh, I want to feel something else that's pretty fat, that's just a bit lower. I giggle before I slide my hand up his torso. This exposes more of his white stomach, all the way up his chest, and I can feel his pounding heart. That better? Leo just gives me a breathy, laughing exhale as he lets me feel him. He slides, is it loud enough? Okay. He slides closer, resting both of his hands on my waist. I feel his peck in my hand, and I thumb through his fur to find his nipple underneath, ooh, feeling it harden in response. Leo shudders and grins at me. I think this place does things to us, Chase. Remember our first kiss? This isn't the exact spot. Was it really 6 years ago already? I sigh, then slide both of my hands under his shirt and wrap them around his waist, burying my face in his chest. Leo hugs back and he starts nibbling at my ears, which make me gasp. Hey, can't we just enjoy the moment? Leo giggles. I am. I look up at him, and I'm not sure if I just run into it, but we kiss. It's a small peck, but then Leo puts his hand behind my head and pushes me deeper into the kiss. He opens his muzzle to clamp around mine, his warm tongue pressing up against my lips. It's still for a moment, and so I'm still for a moment, so is he, waiting for me to respond. When I do, it's with my paws around his back, me kissing back. A soft crack to my right makes me jerk my head from the kiss to look over. Kudzu's standing there, his arms folded. Wait, what? Leo coughs in surprise, pulling back as well and wiping his muzzle. Oh, Kudzu, what's up? Raccoon's expression is hard to read, as usual, but I see the corner of his muzzle quirk up after a while. Not much. What's up with you? Oh, you know, stuff. Leo laughs, and finally, Kudzu smiles. Hey, Kudzu. I speak up, feeling awkward, staying silent after Kudzu caught us like that. Check the time. Cool. He nods in my direction. Chase, so what are you guys really doing out here? Seems like kind of a dumpy place to be doing that. I blush, but turn and points to the camera bag, sitting inside the opening of the car. I was filming for my project. It's a sex scene, romance. This place is important to Echo's history. I see. We could ask you the same thing. Well, I'm not exactly doing that, am I? Anyway, I just make walks sometimes on my days off. In the middle of the day? Usually. He narrows his eyes at me, clearly thinking that I'm suspicious about something, so I quickly add. I mean, it just gets so hot out here that at this time of day, I'd die. Kudzu shrugs his shoulders nonchalantly. I don't know. I go for walks a lot. And that's what I was doing last night when I found you two. Hey, thanks for stepping in last night. That could have ended badly. Kudzu shrugs again. It would have. Had to do something, didn't I? Well, we appreciate it. Leo wraps an arm around me and hugs. So, how has he been? Anyway, how was he when he came to? Pissed, obviously. He always is. But he said some things last night. You should stay away from him for a while. Kudzu, normally a placid face, shows some concern for the first time. What? He said he was going to kill me? Leo says it lightly, but it's not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal. Among other things. His eyes flick to me. I give a start. What? Whoa, wait, did he say some shit about Chase? Leo's hackles rise, and I can see him starting to bare his teeth. If I know how this game's gonna go with regards to the other route, we're probably... What's his name? Clace? Not Clace. The crackhead's probably gonna die. Or at least get very severely injured. Probably dead. Again, He was on something last night. He might not even remember it, but I'm just warning you to be careful around him from now on. Kudzu looks back at Leo. Don't provoke him. I wouldn't if he wasn't such a fucking asshat. Just ignore him. I swear to God, if he talked about doing shit to Chase. His grip tightens even more around me. Hey, I'll be gone in a few days. Don't worry about me. I'm worried about you. I'm just getting really tired of that meth skeleton messing with everything I do. And if he fucking tries something with you, Leo. The air is tense, and I can feel Leo growling deep in his throat. When change the subject, I speak up. Hey, Kudzu, you know where we could go out to the park and hang out? Do you want, wait, you know we were going to go out to the park and hang out. Do you want to come? Thanks, but I think I'm good. Leo perks up from his brooding. You know what? I think that's a good idea. We're going to play some soccer, but there's only going to be 3 of us. You could help even that out. Kudzu thinks. Well, I suppose I could use the workout. Ha, you're just like TJ. I think you guys will get along great. I don't really see TJ and Kudzu getting along because their fitness consistencies. They're practically night and day. Well, we're heading out right about now. You want to come? Kudzu hesitates for a second longer before he nods his head in a quick jerk. Alright, yeah, why not? And with that, I gather my equipment and we head back to Leo's house. We can go on for just a little bit more into the next scene. It's not surprising that Echo hardly has an inch of that flat grass in the entire town. Leo says they're planning to lay down some sod next to the lake when the area is further developed, but as of now, we have to settle for a park near Peyton. I really need to ask in Discord how big is the town of Echo in the game of Echo. It's a plain stretch of grass, usually used for youth soccer games. In fact, I can remember when I was part of that same organization, back when my stubby legs didn't matter as much. Of course, after a few years, it became clear that being an otter, I wasn't built for the sport. That's when I took up swimming, of course, but then I realized that I wasn't really great at that either. Of course, I could outswim any non-aquatic, but when it came to other otters, I was pretty much bottom of the barrel. As you drive, TJ sighs next to me. I look over at him as he's got an elbow against the armrest, staring out the window as he pulls into the empty parking lot. Everything alright? TJ's ears perk up and he looks over at me, clearly a forced smile. Of course. You don't seem that way. What's up? Lean closer to him. He was talking to Kudzu in the front, so we have some amount of privacy. TJ looks down his lap for a moment, then just shrugs. I think it's pretty obvious, Chase. This whole trip has been pretty bad. I'm about to counter that it hasn't been that bad, but he goes on. Yeah, and it's like, well, TJ, I know it might be bad for you, but like, I'm about to hook up with my ex and stuff like that, so I think it's pretty good. Somehow I lost all my breath there. I think it might have been the best if I hadn't come. I feel bad is all. The way he tries not to frown, but does anyway, is both heartbreaking and adorable at the same time. Automatically rests upon his shoulder, reassuringly. Stuff happens, right? We came here to have fun, and that's what we're going to do right now. Yeah, it's just that I feel bad for everyone else. What happened yesterday, I think it affected everyone. Okay, I have no memory of that, even though that was literally yesterday for me. Let's see. Oh, was it right? We went to go to names lost the ram, Carl. Yeah, Carl, and couldn't find him. But like, how did? No, no way. I had a great time with Leo yesterday. Wasn't bad at all. I realize that statement makes me look like a total asshat, but TJ just nods as Leo parks the car. We're here. And I think with that scene change and it hitting that 30-minute mark, we're gonna call it. So, we got smooches, we got a video, and we got to the soccer area. So that's gonna be the end of this space. So comment, guys, like, say what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like me to tube in, like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow, and please remember to spend your ammo to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game, or made this game, and are making others, then you can go to their Patreon, $3 a month to get early access. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. What's his name? Leo's here. I need to. I mean, I guess you guys know. I was like, anyways, thanks to see you.